Greetings. That's not strictly true for this one. It's not actually live. We're doing a pre-record for this one because it's the launch show of Hockey Freaks UK Live. And I think because of the boys I'm about to bring on, we're a little bit nervous and wanted to have a little test run on this before we go fully live with you all able to interact. But I am delighted to bring this one to you. Yes, I'm the founder of Visual PR. But I've got to tell you, first and foremost, I am an ice hockey fan. I absolutely adore the game. Recent find for me. I only found it in 2019, but I've just like hook, line and sinker, I've gone for it. So when these guys approached me and said, can we do something and really bring the Hockey Freaks UK brand to life and really enable the fans to engage with each other in a new way, a new dynamic way, I just said, absolutely, that's what Visual PR does. Let's do it for this. So let me bring out the main men from Hockey Freaks UK. I'm going to move myself to the bottom because you two need to be at the top. Chris Hardy, that way. There he is. And Paul Williams. Evening, gents.
Evening.
Evening, gents. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. I think I threw you under the bus there, didn't I, saying that it's your call that we've gone recorded for this one. But I don't think that's strictly true. It was just... get the feel for it. And it's not the full look and feel of what we're going to be going for with the Hockey Freaks UK Live just yet, is it, Chris?
No, me and Paul's been talking about Hockey Freaks going on to this next stage for a long time. And to be brutally honest, we didn't have the skill sets. So to do what we want to do now. And obviously when the three of us all watch hockey, local club, you were the natural person to approach, and I've been really excited about what we want to bring to our 5,000 followers on YouTube. We're using the YouTube platform, and we've got some ideas. We got some very good ideas, and with your help, hopefully we can increase the numbers.
Absolutely. And yes, you now have a YouTube channel, we hasten to add, because I set that up for you guys. And Paul, I mean, where did Hockey Freaks come from?
Wow. Well, basically, it was a couple of years ago, Chris and myself, we stood at the back of the rink during a break or end of a period, and we've been talking about it. And we always thought a lot of things were player-driven or official-driven. And we said, wouldn't it be a good idea if we could do a fan, but, there was a fan-based group. And so we said, well, we're doing, assuming when we started it, we'd most probably get 100, maximum 200 people in it. And it went a bit.
We don't even know that many people, Paul.
No. And it just went, it just went on. It just started on, and we just grew as it went and went with it, basically. So that's where it came from. And we dragged in the help of our graphics guru, who's well known in the hockey world, David Strover. He's been a massive help to us, and everyone loves the graphics. We knew where we wanted it to go, but we didn't expect it to be so quick to get it there. So yeah, that's where we came from to start with. A fan-based driven group, all levels. Doesn't matter whether it's ladies hockey, doesn't matter anything about it. It was all for the fan base to share, and we were trying to get them to interact with the group. And we thought, well, this is the way. But like Chris said, we don't have the skill set, so this is the way that they can actually interact with us. So hopefully, going forward, this is what this is the move for us.
Well, exactly. And for those of you catching up with this launch video, is that the future episode, so episode 1 onwards, which will be, watch this space, it's going to be in September, but the guys are pushing me to get things finished so that it looks and feels how we want it. And as soon as it is, we'll get the first episode scheduled for September. And it will then be live on the YouTube channel. And you will, as well as watching it, you can actually put your own comments and questions, and I'm able to put them up on the screen with your profile photo and name, and it becomes a very dynamic and interactive show, which frankly, is exactly what I've seen from Hockey Freaks UK. Is that it's all the fans together. It's all from different clubs and the international hockey scene and everything. And everyone has opinions. Everybody gets involved. It's highly regulated, though, Chris. You don't allow people to suddenly start abusing one another.
No, it was one of the things with any social media is that it can be very vicious. We deliberately made the group private, and we do police it heavily. Is that everyone's got opinions, and we want people to voice their opinions, but we don't tolerate. We will not tolerate any abuse or any or if there's any ridicule to individual other members. You know, we do take a very strong view on that, and we pride ourselves on that. We really, really do pride ourselves. So no, it's a platform, it's a group that you can come in and you can say what you want within reason. And if someone doesn't agree with it or a malicious comment comes in, what we'll do, we will actually take that comment out and we'll speak to the individual involved. But we take a lot of pride in that because, as I said at the start of it, there's a lot of platforms and platforms can be very vicious, and we really didn't want to have that, you know, with Hockey Freaks. And when we speak to the clubs, because we do interact with the clubs as well, and the fans, and we get very nice messages, private messages from fans and from the clubs, and then saying, you know, they compliment us on how we police the platform and the group as well.
Which I would assume, Paul, is quite a fine line, because you can't, to use the quite dramatic phrase, is that it's not about stopping a freedom of speech, but it's about controlling the tone of voice that's used with it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, as we're all, you know, fans, we all get passionate at the games, shall we say? You know, there's 1,700 in or more in the rink, and we're all referees, aren't we? We all know what the decisions are. But when it comes off, I mean, Chris and I have always said the players on the ice do the best they can every time. Could we do any better? No. And so, you know, your opinions of how they played and always is an opinion, but as long as you don't get personal against a certain player, we've had it in the past.
And officials, officiating as best they can, and all of that as well.
We have officials on the page. Unfortunately, it's understood they can't comment, which we understand that, but they're on the page. It's not where we want to be. You know, we want to keep it as proper as we can. And like I say, every single one person has to apply, and we get every single one to agree to the rules. Otherwise, we don't let them in, and we monitor it because we don't want to, you know, demote the group to a lower standard at all.
No, absolutely. So it definitely is a fine line. Everybody's got the freedom of speech, but I also get the impression it's not just about a place to come and regurgitate a result or regurgitate a sign in order to suddenly start spitting vitriol about something. It's even about sharing advice, sharing experiences, and helping people to kind of embrace hockey even more.
Yeah, a good example is how we wanted to have the platform, how we wanted to run the platform. Was a good example is last season, Pitbulls down at Bristol. They had some problems with traffic on game day, and then we get a text message, and then we put a post out. So and that's where we want to work, and where we do work with the clubs an awful lot. If the club wants to use the platform to get a message out to the fans that maybe are not in the supporters groups, and while we're on the supporters groups, we are in every NHIL supporters group as well, and we've been welcomed in there. So you know, all the posts that come into like the scores at the end of the weekend, they'll go directly onto them individual platforms, and we've got that carte blanche with them. But you know, that's what we wanted to do. A one-stop, it sounds really cheesy, but a one-stop shop that someone can come and get advice on, you know, what skates to use, what is the stick, you know, what the referees, what was this call, and it's just put a post up, ask the question, because believe me, there's someone's going to know what the answer is. We don't know what the answer is. We are. We're the custodians of hockey freaks. We are not hockey freaks. The hockey freaks are the guys the guys that are on the platform, and we're only as good as them.
And I've just got to congratulate for the flair that you used for the phrase carte blanche. Then, by the way, it was very impressive, mate.
It's not bad for a Wiltshire boy, is it? It's not bad.
Well, exactly right.
Mose too.
Yeah.
You know?
And in case you hadn't guessed it, with a big glass of gin in hand and the banter that's going on, is that the whole essence of these shows is light-hearted, enjoyable banter. There's going to be some big subjects that we're going to be addressing, and we'll come on to episode 1's first guest. Very serious information as well. But it's supposed to be an enjoyable conversation. You can see there's no script. There's nothing like that. Goodness me, which is terrifying with these two, I can tell you. But we're going for it anyway. Before we sort of, I mean, Hockey Freaks UK, we kind of get the background to it, what the objective was and all of that sort of stuff. Going to you personally, and I'm going to start with you, Paul. Where does your history start with ice hockey?
Well, I might go back to many years ago. I used to live on the Isle of Wight actually, and there was quite a good team then called the Isle of Wight Wildcats. I can't remember what their name was now. They played over there, and in fact, the first game I watched, unbeknown to me now, that Neil Lydiard, who's such an experienced running guy, he played there. I think it was one of his first games. So I watched it there, and unfortunately, the team money issue they basically closed down. Which is a shame. I just moved to what we call it the North Island, the mainland, through work to Swindon. And then just one day, it was one Saturday night, I looked on the sun and said, oh, Swindon's got a hockey team. I'll go and watch. I just watched it once. I went there and that was it. Many years ago, I was hooked. And since then, it's just been grown and grown and grown. And it's an addiction, I think, really, because I follow obviously all types of it and different things, but it's a learning curve. So, that's how I've got into it and continue to do so, and then look at all league sort of stuff. And there's a lot of people, like Chris says, there's a lot of people out there know a lot more, and it's quite interesting to listen to their story and what sort of thing. So, it's an information thing, Hockey Freaks, as much as anything, really.
Yeah, no, I get that definitely. And Chris, same question to you, mate.
Yeah, it's got to be about 9 years. Like Paul, I love old sports, especially motorsports. That's ironic enough for you. What happened was Sandra my wife got approached by the Swindon media team or the sponsor team got some free tickets. And bearing in mind that Sandra, my wife, and our daughter Amy do not like any sport. They do not like any sport. So I get a phone call from Sandra saying, we got some free tickets to go and watch Swindon. Do you fancy going? I went, oh, it's going to be cold, but let's go. So we went there, and then it went from one game, behind the plexiglass up, watching upstairs, and then buying seats to player sponsor to sponsor company warm-up shirts, from company warm-up shirts to season ticket holders, and it just went a bit mad. And one thing, I used to be a steward at Swindon Town Football Club, so working for an agency to do football steward, you get a lot of verbal abuse and football in that environment. I've been to rugby matches with work as well, but the difference me and the family find with the hockey is the most family-orientated sport I've ever been to. And that's what makes hockey completely different to any other sport.
And that's been a real drive that I've seen. I'll come on to my brief history as well in a second. No one's asked, but I'll tell you anyway. But
it was on the script.
Yeah.
What's your history, Chris?
Yeah. No, but is that the ice hockey has made a real drive to make it a family, hasn't it? Even in terms of the rules, like the fights they're still allowed to happen because it'd be wrong to get rid of them completely in ice hockey. But, you know, there's kind of almost a Queen's rules, and as soon as you're down, that's gone.
Oh,
Both
it's
have
just
got to
so
agree.
good. I love that.
And you're binned, so it's not, you know, punishment free. It's there, but it's controlled so that it's not freaky. You are not allowed to swear in the stands at all. Goodness me, I saw someone do it, and they almost got toothpaste tubed out of the rink, you know, and there's no violence against, you know, aggression towards the players, to the officials, to each other, to the opposing fans, and it's a real drive, and I congratulate them on that, because I agree, Chris, is that I think it was probably one of the things, because I took my daughter, so I didn't find hockey till 2019, so not even 5 years ago yet, because Chris mentioned motorsport, and the reason why we chuckled is that I get paid to commentate on motorsport around the country and Europe and what have you, and I'm very blessed on that. But it means that I'm busy sort of March to November time, and I got to November 2019, and I went, I want to do something with my wife and daughter. My daughter will have been about 7, I think, then, something like that. I haven't done the maths backwards, but it was around that sort of age, and the lady, Sally, who was the marketing lady at the Wildcats, had been to a lot of the business networking, and they're very sensible, is that they would offer free tickets there, not
Exactly,
just to get...
we got involved.
Exactly right. And it's not just to get new fans, but it's to get potential sponsors of the future and all of that sort of stuff. And I kind of contacted, and I'd never even watched hockey on TV, nothing. I had no idea about it. Fancy doing something different. Said, yes, you can have these tickets. Went rinkside so that my daughter at that age could watch a bit and then go running off playing with the other kids and then come back and watch a bit more, whereas we were glued. And we were very lucky to sit next to a guy that's become a very good friend of mine, Nick Gray. Used to play hockey back in the day as well, still would if his body allowed him. And he kind of filled in the massive gaps that were there that I really didn't know what was going on, so that I understood. And that was it, hooked, absolutely hooked, both me and my wife, me in particular at that point. And we just kept going and going and going. The following year, 2020, the unfortunate year where everything stopped, but we then did that mini lockdown league, the streaming league. And I sponsored with one of my companies the Power Play. It was an open doors training Power Play. We were watching the streams here, made our own hot dogs here, like we were at the rink, all of that sort of stuff, and just absolutely loved all of that. Desperate to get back, and we did it. Then fast forward to beginning of last season, and my other company, Visual PR, which is where we do this sort of work with organisations, and I decided to sponsor and got my name on the sleeve. So it was a bit more than the streaming league, I can tell you now, but got involved in that sponsorship, got season tickets up in the grandstand, and we're watching up there. And all 3 of them now, even Lauren, she's now 12. And if she misses a game, she's edgy. She's not happy. She wants to be there. And it just grabs you by the short and curlies, doesn't it? And
it's even to the point after lockdown as well. A lot of the clubs, we went into streams, and you know, when I started watching, the streams weren't there. So I remember we were in Sri Lanka, and we booked we were looking to be in Sri Lanka for an holiday, and we booked the holiday in the season, and this is before we were season tickets. But we had the stream. So we're sitting in a hotel room, the other side of the world, on a laptop, watching an ice hockey game in the middle of the night. And I'm thinking, you know, and Sandra's saying to me, what are we doing? And I went, it's hockey. We got to watch the hockey. and that platform with the stream, where all the clubs have started bringing the streams on, and that's getting better and better every season, as you know, as we develop, you know, as the league is developing that, and that brings more interaction from the clubs and the fans, and it just joins everything. And yeah, your story is literally mirrors what we do, and now you're hooked, and now, you know, as you know, should we go to ice hockey? Yeah, and then we drive 5 hours up to Solway, and we spend the whole weekend in Dumfries, and we watch 2 games, or you know, the Final Four weekend in Coventry. Everybody books the hotels, and we all go to Coventry, even if
I've already booked.
There you go.
Hey.
I've already booked the hotels.
the best weekend of the year, and it doesn't matter And it doesn't matter if you're not even there. Just go there, wear a shirt, have a drink, and have a laugh.
Yeah.
And you can be wearing your jersey, and it doesn't matter which rink you're in. You will always be welcomed. And I don't think I can apply that to any other team sport. I really don't think you can do that. And that's what makes hockey special.
Agreed. I mean, Paul, one of the big ones that I found, although my daughter nags me because you just walk in and then it's like conversation, walking a bit further, conversation. And I find it not just amazing to watch the game, which is the be all and end all, in fairness. However, it's such a social thing that I have missed all this summer, Paul. Genuinely missed catching up with everyone, don't we?
Yeah, I think everyone does on the countdown. I mean, when it comes to May, everyone says, "Oh, cool, we've had enough now of travelling and watching all these matches." End of Coventry. Oh, it'd be nice to have a break. 2 weeks down the line, you think, "God, what am I going to do on a Saturday night?" Yeah. All you're doing is waiting for the leagues to come out. Well, we do personally, at least for myself. We put them in the diary straight away, and that's it. They're in the diary. If it's in the diary, that's it. And yeah, we just get it in there and you're just counting the times, the weeks down right till, well, this week is at the pre-season sort of stuff. I mean, true, the clubs are very clever at drip feeding the player announcements bit by bit. I'm sure they're all signed way before they announce it. Mainly, but they're good at doing that, and it keeps the fans going. And people share it on the Hockey Freaks, which is great. That keeps us going in the off season. It's not a big thing in the off season with us because it's when the season goes. So yeah, a lot of people get involved in it, and they're just waiting, as people are now, just waiting for the first date, which, well, some started already, but most of them, I think, this weekend.
No, I agree.
Paul, sorry to interrupt there, Chris. What Paul just mentioned about the clubs and the drip feeding, predominantly, we're NHIL team followers, but what I will say, in the last 18 months, all the clubs have really upped their game with the social media, and I need to mention that our team, my team, is Swindon, and I speak to the media team down there, and I got to say all the clubs in the last 18 months have really upped their game, and it's really, really good. They're keeping the fans interactive, they're keeping us interested, and we used to have this downtime, in between, in the off season. But a good example is this year, all the clubs have been on point, and so much so, some are better than others, and we all know they are. But it's just been so good, and it's just that really good build up to the dropping of the first puck. We had a lot of the clubs last weekend at the launch weekends, and we all went in there, seeing you there, Chris, and all that, and you think, and you see it, and you're standing there, and with all your friends, are saying, "We can't wait." We got pre-season friendlies. We're up at, we're playing. Swindon's playing Telford on Saturday, and then me and Sandra's driving up to Telford on Sunday and staying over, because we're on holiday. So we thought, let's just go up to Telford, get some tea, and that's what hockey fans do.
Agreed. And I love the fact that the Wildcats also booked me to sort of host the corporate events and things that they do at the games and stuff for you, and to see a lot of newbies come in, or a lot of that have only really been to the corporate events, the networking, or the hosted by a particular company, and you can watch them. You literally can watch with recognition that hook just getting in. There they are. They've got it.
Yeah. And then they say, right, I want to go into the club shop, Mum. I need to order a jersey, and then you go down there, and forgive me if you keep saying it, that is ice hockey, 100%. and it doesn't matter what level of ice hockey, that is the game, we genuinely believe, me and Paul, is that ice hockey, UK ice hockey, is just going to get stronger and stronger from fan participation. And interaction, and if we at Hockey Freaks can help that, and help the clubs grow, that's what we want to do. We really want to get involved with more clubs, more fans, and get them involved.
No, agreed, and that's what I've seen is that it's it's not just each individual club then, it's hockey as a whole. We then become a bigger voice, and we start to take it back to mainstream again, which is great, because you think we got, I know this dates this recording now, but we got GB starting to play tomorrow. And it's like, unless you've subscribed to Premier Sports, you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Legally, at least.
I think it's always been a challenge with the TV coverage on a lot of it sort of stuff, unfortunately. But unless you're NHL, and obviously we ain't got there yet in the UK.
No,
But,
agreed.
no, it is a good thing.
It is. So that's now we've covered Hockey Freaks, the Hockey Freaks UK live that we're going to be doing. You guys, and I've muscled in and even told you about me anyway. And but the big one, and I think I need to refer to you, Chris, on this one, is that subject to final, confirmation and everything, it looks like we've got our first guest sorted for episode 1.
We have. Fortunately, we're very good friends with a certain individual who's very, very well known in the UK hockey fraternity, Aaron Rose, who works for Romford, and after the unfortunate circumstances which we all seen, is that, and she started a charity called Adam's Angels, and I've had a chat with Aaron, and said, we would love to invite Erin over and have a chat with you and tell us her story. She's made some fantastic progress in a very short amount of time, and made a massive impact on UK ice hockey at all levels. And it's just a story that we want to tell everybody. Everybody's most probably heard it, but she's just started another charity on the next phase, and we want to help to achieve them targets.
And the answer, Chris, in all honesty, like, I'm an example. I hadn't, and I was surprised I hadn't. So the fact that you guys have got her on to have a chat about this is a big deal, because we're not going to give all the way information now, but she is there supporting, emergency trauma care, supplies, knowledge, skills, is there and ready to run with at the games. And honestly, the work that she's doing, the championing that she's doing, is amazing. And we need to make sure that everybody is aware of this and aware of how they may be able to assist as well. And it's definitely worth looking at. And I'm not surprised. So make sure you tune in for episode 1. That is, who did you say it was? Erin, didn't you?
Erin Rose of Romford.
Romford.
So Erin's going to be with us, and I genuinely can't wait. Amazing work that's going on, and still much more to do. And that kind of leads me on to the very final thing. I think it's a lovely way to finish this launch recording show. Is you guys also did an awful lot for charity last year. Paul, I'll come to you first of all. Is that you set about raising money for a certain hospital in London?
Yeah, we decided that last year that Chris and I would do something a bit different. So we bought 4 own and loan shirts for 4 key players in NIHL ourselves, and with the full intention to raffle them at the end of the year for Great Ormond Street. We then thought, well, in our madness, should we produce some pucks? And we produced various different pucks throughout through the season. My house was more like a factory, and the shipping, we looked like Amazon. Lisa, we must have posted, I don't know how many pucks to just generate more cash. We put every penny we made into it, and we did the raffle at the end. And I must say now that this is where our connection to the teams came in. They were absolutely superb for supporting us, donating prizes and different ones, and they all did their bit. But
unbelievable. The teams couldn't have done enough, could they, Paul? They were
they couldn't do enough. They all helped us. Everyone we did the own loan helped us and all. But I'm going to mention one person in particular, because she knows she helped me out big time. Nikki Thomas from Phantoms. I also owed her a favour. She said, "No, you don't. It's a charity." But I do. She'd been really good to us. Everyone did, and we managed to raise £1,509, which wasn't great, to give to the children, all the hospital. So, for a small Facebook group, and that was all the members. It wasn't us. It wasn't me and Chris. It was everyone that bought the tickets, bought the pucks, everything that helped us doing that. So we were pleased last year that what we did. So yeah, it was another way of giving back, I suppose, in a different world.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say it because you're obviously being humble and great humility there. And I do say thank you to everybody who helped the guys raise that money. You know, I know that hopefully you got some great prizes out of it, but, you know, genuinely amazing cause. But it wouldn't have happened without these two, with that incredible. And I say these two, it sounds like other half's helping as well. So thank you to you guys for doing all of that work. It was amazing. And so, you know, I just thought that it was a nice way to round out this show to talk about some fantastic stuff that you've done. You've used the force, shall we say, of Hockey Freaks UK. And this is a way to hopefully that we'll be able to all engage. We'll become an even bigger community now because you can get involved in these shows. You can ask questions. You can, you know, make comments, any observations that you have, any information that you have that is helpful to a conversation we may be having. When we've got special guests in, ask them questions. Don't just sit there watching. Get involved. I will be attempting to ask the questions I think you might be coming up with, but any others, get involved. And the more of you that do, you get your names in lights and everything. And it's just a great, fun banter show. And we'll try to make it that we are consistent of, you know, a particular day of a particular week every month, that kind of thing. And we'll sit in the evening, we'll have a drink. Well, I will, because it's a safe bet that I will. Drink on the go. And we'll kick back and we'll just talk about our favourite sport. I think that really sums it up, gents.
Yeah, good to see you, gents. And Chris, thanks for giving us the opportunity and coming to work with us. Because, as I said at the start, you know, we wanted to, for a good 12 months, we wanted to move on and get to that next level. But we just, and I repeat it, we just didn't have the skill sets, you know. And you know, we're very, very excited about the future and what we can bring, and what we got some ideas, and it's easy having ideas, but we've got to put them into motion now. You know, it's the start of the season for us as well as teams, so you know,
and it's going to be fluid. It's going to be fluid, isn't it? We're going to have some fun with this, and we're going to see where it goes. Let's throw the dice up. You know, yes, I kind of do this. If you go to visual-pr.co.uk, it's not a PR agency like the name might suggest. It's visual because it brings it to life, and we have these conversational shows. I do it for sporting teams. I do it for commercial organisations where we have different subjects every month with those organisations broadcasting to their YouTube channel, LinkedIn channel, Facebook page, etc. And then it's everything we do with the show afterwards. We create social media clips. We strip out the audio for podcasts. We transcribe it so that you've got it for blog posts. You name it. It's about linking the dots together. And we're going to have some fun by using my technology, my know-how as a presenter, to just let's see who we speak to and let's see how the season goes, eh?
Yeah. Sorry, Paul. The only thing we can guarantee is that, unlike some of the teams who are not going to get to Coventry, we're going to be at Coventry. Me and Paul and the girls, and then now you, Chris, as well.
Yeah,
we're all
hotels booked. All three of us are booked.
That's right. Everything's booked now. So you know, that's the only thing we can guarantee. But like you said, we want to have some fun. We want some interaction. We want the fans to interact, and we'll open it out to as well if you know the fans want to talk about something, some ideas, send us a text, send us a message, or our email address is up. Send us an email, and if we can fulfill that, you know, within reason, you know, we'll do that. You know, we want to go a bit off the beaten track as well. Paul started at the start of the conversation where it was a lot of player orientation. We like to we've got ideas where we want to get. You know, what does a kit man do? I'd love to know. You know, what does a Zamboni? What does he do? I know he just drives up and down, but it sounds really silly, and it sounds. But we all take it for granted. But actually, we find it quite interesting. I would find that quite interesting. So stuff like this is where we want to go down that route and get that side of ice hockey, which nobody really talks about, but we all need it.
Yeah,
you know, an MC at an ice hockey. What is involved in being an MC at an ice hockey? Is it just a case of, you'll know this better than we do, Chris? But we would love to see that side of ice hockey and bring it to the fans.
I agree. I agree,
Yeah.
Paul. That's one of the things we talked about, is bringing the untold stories to life.
There's so many
Yeah.
people. I mean, I've worked, or we have, without there's some, they know who they are, fan-based groups within the UK, and there's some companies that are sponsored and fan-based, part of Hockey Freaks, who've helped us, who could really offer something to one of these live shows. So I'll be knocking on their doors. They know they I've already spoken to some of them, and one of them is really freaked out about coming on. But that person, I won't mention his name, knows who he's watching. We'll watch this. That he has a story to tell, and what he does for hockey is massive. And there's other people as well. So we've got a few people in the pot, if you like, but we need more ideas, and we just don't want to be a copy and paste group. It's not what we're about now. So that's where we're going.
Agreed. And equally, by the way, if anybody wants to sort of get the name of their organisation out as part of this, I can create adverts and what have you that can be part of this. So please get in touch with these two and let them know, because we'll be able to work that one out. At the moment, it's all being done from the goodness of our hearts and everything like that. But we can actually help promote your organisation and your message, etc. So please do get in touch. It's going to be going out to a lot of people, as we've already been talking about, with a common interest. Gents, I think that's a great place to leave it. We'll be announcing when episode 1 is going to be, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Watch this space. Now you've done it. You've burst your cherry, guys. You've been on. It's not that scary, is it?
No, you've been very
seen the first article yet, have we?
You've been part of it, so it's fine. Listen, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the proper episode 1, where all of this will be even polished a little bit more. We'll see you then. Cheers all.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.